Sorry for the intermission break because I had to watch a movie. Anyway, so let's get back to the solving. So to solve for the area, remember, ang sabi dito, ang area dapat namin ay square centimeters. So therefore, there are two ways on how you can solve it. You can solve for the area, and then what you call this, convert that into square cm. However, since this may be a bit harder, I think the best solution na lang is to convert inches na lang into cm. Okay? So you know the relationship that 1 inch is equivalent to 2.54 cm. But 2.5 inches, i-convert na namin. So 2.5 times 2.54. So you get the answer of 6.35 cm. So ito pa yung measure namin. So 2.5 inches is equivalent to 6.35 centimeters. And then, now that you got the answer in centimeters, all you have to do is to square it. By the way, i-verify. Diba remember, let's check kung 6.35 centimeters to. Check mo with your ruler, ha? Remember, there are two parts in your ruler. This one where you see the 10, 20, 30, that is 4 centimeters. Ito yung nakita mong 0, 1, 2 hanggang 12, that is the inches. Oh, a lot of you people know that already by now. So ito pa yun. Now let's double check to see if we get 6.35 cm. Scrutinize na namin, ha? Ito, ha? Baka mano mo. Ayan. Yan na. Ayan, halatang almost there na. 6.3 something, which is almost to 6.35. Dito naman kaya sa itong parting side na to. Let's check. Yan, malapit na din. Malapit na sa 6.35. Pero okay lang yan. Now to solve for the area. The area is 6.35 squared. And when we square that, we should get 40.3225 square centimeters. So ito po yung area namin. 40.3225 centimeters squared. Now, if you're asked to solve for the perimeter in squared in centimeters naman, convert the 10 inches to centimeters. Diba? Yun naman, what you call this, 2.54. So, 2.5 becomes 6.35. Then, 6.35 times 4. And that gives you, i-multiply na namin so that you get, okay, never mind na. Never mind na we were not able to get the answer. Pero kung sa tingin mo, we have to try, ito po yun. Type mo sa calculator, di ba, 6.35, di ba? Then times 4. Tama ba? 25.4. So ito po yung perimeter ng square. 25.4 centimeters. Okay? Yun na po tayo sa square. Now, let's go now to this figure, which we call what you call this, ito yun. What type of figure is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a pentagon. However, here's the catch. You see that there are two trapezoids that are congruent. How do you know? Because you see these identical marks. And this one as well. They show you proof that they're equivalent with each other. Now, let's solve for the perimeter. And the area pa naman. Ayun pala, here's another catch. It says here that the perimeter of the figure is 304 millimeters. Alright? The perimeter of this entire figure is 304 millimeters. Now, all we need to do is to solve for the missing 2. Okay? So, we know that this is the formula. Remember, perimeter pertains to the sum of all the measures that are around the figure. Okay? So, ito po yung formula namin. Ito po yung formula namin. So, the perimeter is equivalent to, di ba, 80 nakita mo dito, di ba? 80 may isa lang. 80 plus, di ba, may dalawang times 62. Isa dito, tsaka isa dyan. So, 62 times 2. Okay? Times 2. And then, merong dalawa na congruent. Two sides that are congruent. So, 2x is equivalent to, ano yung perimeter? 304. So, 304 to. Combining like terms, we get, di ba, this one becomes 124, di ba? And then 2x, 304. Combine like terms again. 124 plus 180, that becomes, ano to? 4 plus 0, 4. Tapos 12 plus 8, 204. 204 plus 2x is equivalent to 304 naman. Now, we subtract both sides, di ba? Subtracting both sides, we get 2x na lang is equivalent to 100. Divide both sides by 2. So therefore, x must be 50. To double check, verify. Ito po yung checking method. Because there are two sides that are congruent, you're gonna have to group that. Okay? So double check na namin to verify. 80, and then this one, 124, di ba? Tapos, this becomes 100 equals 304. 80 plus 100, 180, di ba? Let's see if we get the same answer, di ba? 80 plus 124. 80 plus 24 is equivalent to 104. And then plus 1 and 1, tama. So 304, 304, check. Okay? So yun nga. So now we've already found the measure of the two. The two should measure 50 mm and the other one should measure 50 mm din. Okay? Now with that, we already have a clue. And by the way, there's another problem. Remember, if we're asked to solve for the area, we can solve for the area in two ways. However, what I would rather do, since we know that this shape is congruent, we can just what you call this, we can just what you call this, play the game of congruent sides, diba? Nakita mo yung line mo dito? It can be divided into half. Furthermore, kung na-fold mo yan, it's a symmetrical figure. So therefore, these two shapes, they are congruent with each other. So now, and you know what? The good news is, if we were to split this in half, this length here will be divided into half. So if we know that this is 80 millimeters, what should be the measure here? If your answer is 40 millimeters, you are correct. So 40 millimeters na lang to. And then we have 40 millimeters, then 50 millimeters. Ayaw pala. Remember, we need to get the measure of this, diba? Because we can now form it into two trapezoids. And remember the formula for solving for the area of any trapezoid? It's the summation of the two bases times the height divided by 2. However, we do not know what the measure of this one is yet. Yung nakita mong line dito, wala pa yan. That one is just unknown. Unknown to. So, walang measure. However, can we play Pythagorean theorem to get the answer? If your answer is yes, you are correct. How can we play Pythagorean theorem? Ito, you can bring this here, this height here of 40 millimeters and put it here para maging right triangle na ito. So therefore, you're specifically going to work on this right triangle. So if we know that this is 40 millimeters and this is 50 millimeters, di ba yung height ay 40 millimeters? This is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is 50 millimeters. But what's the measure of this side? From here up to the area or to the point where height is found. That you don't know. But let's play Pythagorean theorem and analyze it. So you know the formula for Pythagorean theorem. Remember, the formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I-identify na namin. Where's the a squared? The a squared is we don't know. Diba? Ito yung a squared namin. We do not know what this is. So this a squared. This is b and this is c. Okay? Now let's go. So a squared, we do not know what's the measure of the value of a. B squared, di ba B is 40? So 40 squared equals C squared. Ang C squared ay 50. 50 squared. Now let's simplify the terms. A squared, then 40 squared. Di ba 40 times 40? 4 times 4, 16. Then 2 zeros, so that's 1,600. Last but not least, 50 squared, that's 2,500. Now we can simplify the terms. Subtract both sides by 1,600. Therefore, a squared is equivalent to 900 na lang. Take the square root of 900. But since 900 is a big number, we can play the game of simplifying a square root. So ito po yun, di ba? Square root of 900 can be simplified to the square root of, ano yung mga factors nila? 30 times 30. Di ba? 3 times 3 is 9, di ba? 0 times 0, then count the zeros. So, tama. So, therefore, the square root of 90 is 30. So, therefore, ang sagot dyan ay A is equivalent to 30 mm. Okay? So, yun nga. So, 30 squared is 900. 40 squared is 1,600. Put them together to get 50 squared, and you get 2,500 mm. And that is your measure. So this is 30 mm. 32, okay? So that's the measure from here to here. So now that we got 30 mm, can we get the measure of this line that you see right here? Yes, we can. Kung sa tingin mo dito ay 62, because that 62 mm pertains to the entire line here, the entire purple line. But the 30 mm is only up to the area where you got your height through Pythagorean theorem, which is simply here. Okay? So 30 mm is here, and the entire thing is 62. Ano yung measure dito sa kabilang side naman? That is when you do 62 minus 30, which gives you 2 minus 0 is 2, 6 minus 3, and 32. So 32 mm ito. Because 32 plus 30 is 62. Tama? Now, can we solve for the area of the trapezoid? Yes, we can. So therefore, this is 62, then plus 32, then times side of 40, divide by 2. However, we don't need to divide, there's a catch. We don't need to divide by 2 anymore since we already know that there are two trapezoids that are completely congruent and symmetrical. So therefore, hindi na kailangan mag-divide by 2 unless you want to multiply it by 2. Pero kung ginawa mo yan, I'm sure, basta, you will see the formula. Okay? So ito ba yung formula ng height? B1 plus B2 times height divide by 2. But since there are two sides, two trapezoids that are congruent, you have to multiply it by 2. Take note, these 2's already cancel. So what leaves is just the two bases that you need to add, then times the height na lang. So what's our base 1? 32, di ba? What's our base 2? 62. Tama? Ito yung 62, ito yung 32. Ito po yung 32 mm, okay? And then, times your height. Ano yung height namin? 40. Okay? Now, let's solve. 32 plus 62. Diba? 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 6 is 9. 94 times 40. Now, it's just 94 times 4. Okay? Don't forget to add a 0. 16. Tapos, 36, 37. Add 0. So, ito ba yung sagot namin? Ang area ng pentagon ay 3,760 millimeters squared. Check ko sa what you call this, sa PowerPoint kung tama. Yan. Na-check ko and we should get the answer of 3,760 squared millimeters. At yun lang po. Thanks for watching this video. Leave a like if you do like this video. Thanks for watching.